All over the world at WNST.net. We never stop talking Baltimore sports.
You lose Tom Brady in New England. And some of the other things, they lose Rodney Harrison and some of the other things they're going through. So the quote-unquote elite teams kind of came back to the pack, and then you've had some teams step up. So from week to week, and we talked about last time, we're going to see, I believe, maybe even in the last week of the season, definitely the last two, there could be 4, 5, maybe 6 playoff spots that's still open in the last week of the season.
Well, that makes for a great season from a fan's perspective, I think, and certainly from the TV perspective for what you guys are doing week to week. I mean, you can't take your eyes off the league right now. Like you said, if you're a betting person, you look at a couple of games. I mean, Tennessee at 8-0, they still feel pretty vulnerable to me. They're not the Rams of '99 that are just steamrolling everybody. I mean, they're going in and playing games every week.
Well, I spoke about in the blog that you were talking about. The thing that is interesting, because I've been asked that a lot nationally, is Tennessee, they kind of look like you guys did in 2000, could they win it all? And the unique thing in 2000 and in 2001 when Tampa Bay won, not only were those good football teams that could play good defense, run the ball, and not turn the ball over, but there was a void of quarterback play. That was at a time, you remember, the Montanas and the Aikmans and the Marinos and the Kellys and the like were either out or transitioning out of the game.
And Manning was just getting good.
And so there was a void. Right. And so you could win with that formula. And then you saw the emergence of Manning and Donovan McNabb and then Tom Brady and some of the other quarterbacks that for a while there, you could do that formula, play good defense, run the ball, not turn the ball over, manage the game. But at the end of the day, were you going to beat Tom Brady that way? Are you going to beat Peyton Manning that way? This year we have dominant quarterbacks, but not dominant quarterback play, and on teams that have any semblance of balance. Phillip Rivers is having a phenomenal year, but defensively they're not running the ball quite as well. Same thing in New Orleans with Drew Brees having a phenomenal year, but again, not running the ball well, defense a few holes. So I think I don't know whether they will or not, but I think Tennessee has the team that could indeed run the table.
How much football are you watching? I mean, I remember when the team came here in 95, 96, I would always ask players, because I didn't know any better, how much football. Do you watch Monday Night Football every week? I ask, but I'm thinking when you were the coach for 9 years, did you ever sit and watch Monday Night Football? Probably never, right?
You had it on behind you as you were looking at film of whoever it is you were going to play, and you were kind of listening to the game and you'd watch it occasionally. You know, now I travel, on Sunday I'm usually traveling, so I'm either late or miss the Sunday.
And you're traveling every week. It used to be you got to stay home. You're on the road every weekend, and that just means you get to watch one game. Is there any point during the week where you put on an NFL Network? Or
I'll sit down Monday night and start working on my charts for the coming game, and I'll watch the Monday night game, depending on how good a game it is. And then I'm deep into the film, getting ready for the opponent. I'm going to cover this week against Carolina and Oakland Raiders.
Who's the best team in the league right now? I mean, you have to say Tennessee just based on the record. And at that point, how much better are they than the other teams?
At the end of the day, you got to believe that Kerry Collins may continue to play well or step up. New York Giants look pretty good. They're balanced. I think the play of Eli Manning, the explosive weapons. They have some explosive weapons. I don't know that Tennessee has those explosive weapons. So right now, if you had that, but there again, I'm not going to put any money on it. First, I don't do that. Secondly, I don't know how you bet on it, because on any given day, and it's cliche, but it's very true.
Let's talk about Kerry Collins. We all remember him for the night in Tampa. By the way, my man Lonnie over here has the season storybook, and I looked through that thing, and it's been 7 years, whatever it is. Man, there's some great pictures in that book. There's a picture of Patrick Johnson just smothering you, and it looks your hair's all messed up. And there's a picture in there of you with Art. I saw Art today. I was at the complex. Just the biggest smiles, and those are just the great memories looking at that. But Kerry Collins, you talk about the sort of metamorphosis of a player. I mean, here's a guy coming out of Penn State, high draft pick, a little bit of a bust, gets to the championship game as Carolina, has his hits rock bottom, comes back, plays in the Super Bowl. 8 years later, a lot of those guys are out of the game, and here he is undefeated. I mean, and I don't know that people are really talking about him, but boy, he's hung around.
All over the world at WNST.net. We never stop talking Baltimore sports.